The air hung heavy with the scent of dust and desperation. Along the rugged road leading to a small Samaritan village, figures emerged from the shadows, their voices hoarse, their pleas echoing with a raw, ancient pain. "Unclean! Unclean!" they might have cried moments before, a ritualistic warning to anyone who dared approach. But now their focus was singular, their desperation a beacon. They were 10 men, ostracized, their bodies ravaged by leprosy, skin discolored, extremities deformed, their very presence a source of fear and revulsion to others. They lived in the desolate margins, their lives a perpetual exile from family, community, and hope. Their days were a monotonous cycle of survival, their only companions the bitter truth of their shared affliction. But on this particular day, a stir rippled through the region. News had traveled ahead of a healer, a teacher from Galilee named Jesus. And as he journeyed between Galilee and Samaria, passing through villages and hamlets, these 10 men, spotting him from a distance, raised their voices. They dared not come close, bound by the law and the painful reality of their disease. But they cried out, their voices united in a chorus of profound need. "Jesus, Master, have mercy on us." Imagine the scene. 10 men, their faces etched with suffering, their very being a testament to brokenness, calling out to a man they knew only by reputation. It wasn't a demand, it was a plea, a cry from the deepest well of human despair. Jesus stopped. He looked at them, not with revulsion, but with compassion. He didn't rush to them, didn't lay hands on them, didn't utter a word of instant healing. Instead, his command was simple, yet profound. "Go, show yourselves to the priests." Now this was a critical instruction. Under the Mosaic law, if a leper was cleansed, they had to present themselves to a priest who would then declare them clean, allowing them to re-enter society. But here's the remarkable part. When Jesus gave this instruction, these men were still lepers. There was no visible change, no physical sign of healing. Yet something in Jesus' voice, something in his presence, sparked a flicker of faith within them. They could have scoffed, could have questioned, could have demanded an immediate miracle. But they didn't. They turned, perhaps hesitant at first, then with growing resolve, and began to walk towards the priests. And it was as they went, as they were in the very act of obedience, that the miracle unfolded. Perhaps it began with a tingling sensation, a warming of their skin. Then, as they walked, they might have noticed their skin changing, the disfigurement fading, the lesions closing. One man might have seen his companion's hand restored to its normal shape, then looked down at his own. The transformation was not instantaneous, but gradual, unfolding with each step of faith. Imagine the sheer, overwhelming joy that must have erupted among them. A gasp, then a shout of disbelief, followed by cries of pure, unadulterated elation. Their bodies, which had betrayed them for so long, were now whole, restored. Their lives, once bound by illness and isolation, were suddenly open again. They were clean, free. They could return to their families, embrace their children, touch their loved ones without fear or condemnation. 9 of the men, overcome with this incredible blessing, continued on their way. Their destination was the priest, the symbol of their re-entry into the world. Their minds were undoubtedly filled with plans, with the anticipation of all they had lost and now regained. Their focus was firmly on the future, on the freedom that had just been granted to them. But one of them, just one, made a different choice. He was a Samaritan, a foreigner in the eyes of many Jews, including perhaps some of the other lepers. He could have kept going, just like the rest. He had his healing, his freedom. Yet something compelled him to turn back. His heart, overflowing with a gratitude so profound it could not be contained, compelled him to return to the source of his blessing. He didn't care about the journey, about the priest, about the immediate rush to restart his life. His immediate, overwhelming need was to acknowledge the giver. And so he turned around. He ran back to Jesus, falling at his feet, prostrating himself in humble adoration. His voice, once hoarse with desperate pleas, now rang out with praise to God, audible for all to hear. His posture spoke volumes, utter submission, profound respect, and boundless thanks. Jesus looked at him, and then his gaze swept the horizon, as if searching for the others. A note of poignant wonder, perhaps even sorrow, entered his voice. "Were not 10 cleansed?" he asked. "Where are the 9? Was no one found to return to give praise to God except this foreigner?" And then, looking directly at the grateful Samaritan, Jesus offered words that encapsulated the true meaning of his actions. "Rise and go. Your faith has made you well." Think about that moment. All 10 were healed physically, but only one returned to give thanks. And Jesus highlights not just his physical healing, but something deeper. Your faith has made you well. Or, as some translations put it, your faith has saved you. This wasn't just about a cured body. It was about a heart that recognized and acknowledged divine grace, a spirit that understood the deeper connection between the blessing and the blesser. This story, told so simply in Luke's Gospel, holds a powerful mirror to our own lives. How often do we cry out to God in our moments of need, in our desperation, in our pain? And how often, when the blessing comes, when the prayer is answered, do we, like the 9, simply continue on our way, consumed by the gift and forgetting the giver? A grateful heart is not merely polite, it is profound. It acknowledges dependence, recognizes the source of all good things, and deepens our relationship with God. It transforms a simple transaction of asking and receiving into an ongoing dialogue of love and appreciation. It's an act of worship, a declaration that we understand that every good and perfect gift comes from above. Gratitude pleases the Lord because it reflects a humility that acknowledges His sovereignty and goodness. It shows that we see His hand in our lives, not just in the big miracles, but in the everyday blessings we so often take for granted: the breath in our lungs, the food on our tables, the love of family, the beauty of creation. So, as we reflect on the grateful leper, let us cultivate a spirit of intentional gratitude. Let us pause, even in the midst of our blessings, to turn back and thank the one who provides. Whether through quiet prayer, heartfelt praise, or acts of service, let our lives be a continuous offering of thanks. Because a heart overflowing with gratitude is not just pleasing to God, it transforms us, opening our eyes to the abundance of His grace all around us. What blessing has God given you recently that you've been meaning to pause and truly thank Him for? I invite you to share your reflections in the comments below. If this story resonated with you, please consider subscribing to our channel for more thoughtful insights and stories that encourage our faith. May your heart be ever grateful, and your life be a testament to His boundless goodness.